A lot of buyers stepping in ahead of today's midterm elections. Stocks posting solid gains ahead of the results. Courtney Donohoe has the latest from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Courtney.
Well, hey there, Pimm. As we talked about, so much to digest this week with the election, the Fed meeting, the jobs report, all in the same week. And for a few days now, we haven't seen too much conviction in the markets before these major events, but stocks rallying today. Investors, they're waiting for the Fed's plans on what they're going to do next with the economy. But we've seen the S&P on a tear, rallying 14% since Ben Bernanke indicated in August that he was considering pumping more money into the economy. And tomorrow, we're probably going to see the Fed announce that it plans to buy at least $500 billion of long-term securities. But this is such an interesting quote, and this is from John Lynch of Wells Fargo Fund Management. And he said the Fed's created all these expectations so that anything less than $500 billion in QE would be, quote, uncivilized. But he said that he fears that the Fed is not going to deliver what the market's priced in, Pimm.
Now, Courtney, in the past, how have stocks fared in times when there was this split between the power in the House and, let's say, what's going on with the White House? You've got two different parties in power. Everyone seems to think that the conventional wisdom is that gridlock is good, but a lot of the data shows that's not exactly the case.
Yeah, you're right there. Well, how stocks fared in times when there was a Democratic president and a Republican majority in Congress. Strategic Research, they did the math, and the S&P has gained about 15% on average in years when this has happened. So they said that historically the market has performed best under leadership of a Democratic president and a Republican Congress when you compare it to any other combos. So this may set the stage for a better than expected 2011. But I also want to point out Art Cashin of UBS. He distributes his daily note here on the floor. He does it every morning before the bell, and it's a must-read for anyone here on the floor. And he said in his note today, the interaction of the lame duck Congress with the president may impact various markets over the next few weeks. He asked, will there be a last-minute attempt to push through legislation before a rebalanced Congress next year? And he said, as many point out, sometimes change happens so swiftly. But before I go, I got to mention, the McRib is back at McDonald's today, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going to run out and go get this, but lots of traders, they're telling me it's going to be a volatile day tomorrow between the election and the Fed reaction, so that might not be the best food selection. Just a warning there, Pimm.
Now, Courtney, I thought you were going to tell me that Art Cashin also has his name, stenciled on his chair there on his stool at the New York Stock Exchange.
He should.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Courtney Donohoe, reporting from the NYSE.